Good morning, everyone. I'm Mariana Spiropoulos, President of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Board of Commissioners. And before I begin, I would like to take a moment to honor a man that we all hoped would be here this morning, Commissioner Tim Bradford. For those who did not hear the news, Commissioner Bradford passed away last Friday, leaving us shocked, saddened, and to say the least, less than celebratory here today. I think I speak for the entire board when I say that Tim was not only a colleague, but a mentor, a confidant, an entertainer, and most importantly, a dear friend. He was larger than life, and his passing has left our board with a hole bigger than this reservoir we are looking at today. Tim was a proud man, a proud family man, proud of his work in the community, proud of the help that he was able to give to so many people throughout his life. And we at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District are very proud to be able to have claimed him as one of our own. Tim, we love you, we miss you, and we promise to carry on the important work you did for the people of Cook County. Please join me for the national anthem, followed by a moment of silence for our dear departed friend, Commissioner Tim Bradford.
Right, sir. Right. Bodyguard. Oh.
Thank you to Director Ben Dass and members of the Pritzker College Prep Band for sharing your wonderful talent with us. And thank you for all of you who came out today. I would like to begin by introducing my colleagues on the Board of Commissioners. I'm joined here by Vice President Barb McGowan, Chairman of Finance Frank Avila, Commissioner Martin Durkin, Commissioner Josina Morita, Commissioner Deborah Shore, Commissioner Carrie Steele, and Commissioner David Walsh. Former board members were instrumental in helping us realize this important occasion, so I welcome former presidents of the Board of Commissioners, President Terry O'Brien and President Kathleen Meany. So thank you for joining us today. I'd also like to recognize our Executive Director, David St. Pierre, who has worked to keep progress on the tunnel and reservoir plan going as planned. We are fortunate to have today also Senator Dick Durbin, Congressman Mike Quigley, and Congressman Dan Lipinski, whom you will hear from shortly. We also will hear from our partners from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and remarks from Colonel Aaron Reisinger shortly. We have U.S. EPA Region 5 Administrator Robert Kaplan, IEPA Director Alec Messina, Cook County Mayor Commissioner Jeff Tobolski, Kevin Burke from Local 150, and Jack Darren from the Sierra Club. We are also pleased that David Applegate and Marina Faz Hubert from Senator Tammy Duckworth's office could join us today. And I want to welcome Elisa Liu, from an environmental scientist and member of the Illinois Pollution Control Board. Many thanks to Mark Miller, former Illinois Department of Natural Resources Director, who now calls the state of Michigan home. Thank you for coming to join us today, Mark. We have many elected officials today, and I would like to acknowledge them. We have Kaja Munadeen, Hanover Township Trustee and an engineer at MWRD, David Karabota, Maine Township Trustee, Jeffrey Tobolski, Mayor, Congressman Mike Quigley, State Representative for the 2nd District, Teresa Ma, State Senator Maddie Hunter, Greg Bales from Senator Dick Durbin's office, Barrett Peterson, the Mayor of Franklin Park, Greg Langens from Northfield, Ben Sells, President of Riverside, Larry Banks, Cicero Trustee, Mitchell Pisnarski, Burbank Alderman, Bob Parod, Cicero Trustee, Jeff Wallach, Village of Stickney Mayor, Sam Savopoulos, Village of Stickney Trustee, Katrina Thompson, Mayor, Village of Broadview, William Stalker, Oak Lawn Trustee, Sam Pulia, Mayor of Westchester, Mary Sutton, Trustee, Village of Bridgeview, Frank Pajic, Stickney Township Trustee, and Alice Gallagher, President of Western Springs. I apologize if I didn't mention anyone else that was here, but we thank you for joining us today on this very important occasion. It's great to see so many contractors here, as well as union leaders. We are very fortunate to have such a great relationship with labor because without them we could not accomplish what we do with the Water Reclamation District. This project would not be possible without the work of a stellar team of engineers, all of whom played a pivotal role in designing McCook Reservoir. And I'd like to acknowledge some of them. Frank Dalton, Rich D'Ambrosio, Leo DeVita, Jack Farnan, Kevin Fitzpatrick, Adam Gronsky, Ken Grusa, Patrick Jensen, Joe Kennedy, Ken Kendrick, Ken Kitts, Earl Knight, Marcy Landis, John Latyuk, Catherine O'Connor, Carmen Scalise, Manju Sharma, Bill Sheriff, Joe Sabansky, James Timmons, Nick Venuso, and Joe Zurad are just some of the people that have worked on this incredible project. Thank you. And where would we be without our lawyers? We appreciate their hard work of the attorneys from the district, the state of Illinois, and the federal government. The district is fortunate to have a history of visionary leadership. And if you could bear with me for a few minutes while I go through a little bit of our history. I recently browsed through the online archives to read discussions commissioners had when they began devising the plan to reduce water pollution and prevent flooding. First comments I could find were from 1965 when the board was discussing allocating funds to further evaluate a deep tunnel project. On March 2nd, 1967, the board discussed a proposal for engineering services to explore the Chicagoland Deep Tunnel Project. And then on December 30th, 1967, President Frank Chesrow said, "The recurring problem of storm overflow and consequent pollution of the waterways has prompted intensive study of a number of proposals. One of these is the Deep Tunnel Project. Work is now proceeding on a study to determine the feasibility of using tunnels mined in rock for the storage of stormwater in combination with an electricity-generating pumped storage system," unquote. 5 years later, the district formally adopted the Tunnel and Reservoir Plan in 1972. And since then, 109 miles of deep tunnels were completed in 2006, capable of holding 2.7 billion gallons of water. It reduced the pollution load in our waterway by 85%. As work on the tunnels proceeded, we began constructing 3 reservoirs. The Majewski Reservoir near O'Hare was completed in 1998, and the 7.9 billion gallon Thornton Reservoir came online in 2015. Visitors come from all over the world to see the TARP project for themselves in hopes of emulating this visionary project in their parts of the world. And now I'd like to introduce someone who has played a tremendous role and has been instrumental in keeping this project on track, even in the face of bureaucratic hurdles. Senator Dick Durbin has led the charge to secure the significant funding needed to complete this project, and it is with great pleasure that I introduce our tenacious and unstoppable advocate, Senator Dick Durbin.
Tenacious and unstoppable. Thank you. First, Marianne, thank you for the tribute to one of the nicest, kindest persons that I've ever known, Tim Bradford. What an extraordinary public servant he was. What an extraordinary friend. And I'm glad that we can honor him today. We're going to miss him. The second thing, my apologies for being late. I'm afraid I might have delayed your program. Dan Lipinski and I were at the same meeting this morning, and I should have followed him out the door because he knew how to get here. And so I apologize for that. The third thing is about the wind that's blowing. There's good news and bad news. The good news is the wind's blowing so hard I can't read this speech. And the bad news is it has ruined my carefully engineered hairdo. Let me say a few words. What Marianne pointed to was the fact that just a few years ago, we made history with building the Thornton Reservoir. And she's right. People come from all over the world because they realize we've done something that others need to do as well. And we're setting the standard. With this McCook Reservoir, in the first phase, another 3.5 billion gallons of water that could destroy your basement, your home, the street you live on, is going to be diverted into a safe place. so it can be reprocessed and released in a responsible way. But it's only the beginning, because the second phase, which we've been fighting over in Washington for way too long, is going to expand that capacity to 10 billion gallons of water. That is an engineering challenge which others won't even tackle, and we are tackling here because we know we can get it done. We've got the leadership in the Metropolitan Water and Reclamation District. We have the engineers, we have the workers. Thank you to our labor, our friends in Local 150 and all the others who are here. We know that we can get this done, and once again, demonstrate, if you want real leadership in engineering, come right here to Illinois, come right here to Cook County. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator. I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Congressman Mike Quigley, who has worked tirelessly with the Senator to help secure funding for the reservoir, especially in a very difficult budget climate. He also strapped on his boots and dug in deep to serve as a treatment plant operator for a day at the Stickney Water Reclamation District plant. So, welcome, Congressman Quigley.
I swear I just saw Mary Poppins fly. I just flew into town for this event, and I want to congratulate everyone. This is the kind of thing we want to do. The commissioners, the president, my colleagues from D.C., this is what we want to do. This is what we want to be spending our time doing, and that's bringing resources to Chicagoland area so we can all move forward together. We are forced to do what we have to do with the tasks that you see taking place in DC, not what we all want to do, and working together on a bipartisan basis. This is what happens when you work together. You accomplish great things, and it's great to see our friends from Friends of the River and the Sierra Club, because in the long run, in the final picture here, this is a technical solution and an absolutely critical one. But in the long run, this is going to be a solution that we deal with facing climate change and other issues that are so important to so many of us. So to the president and the commissioners and all the staff and all who work so hard for this, and my colleagues in DC, congratulations. The water's going to climb up these walls, not the basements of Barrett Peterson's residence, where it shouldn't be. So great work to the MWRD and the Army Corps of Engineers. We can't thank you enough for those efforts. This is absolutely vital. It is a critical step to grow our community and to protect residents, their lives, and to grow the economy. So thank you so much for that great work. We look forward to working with you on other positive projects. Thanks again.
Thank you, Congressman. Our next guest is the senior-most member of the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, and as such, he has been a very strong supporter and leader for our program. Not only that, he is one of just a dozen trained engineers in Congress. Please welcome Congressman Dan Lipinski.
Thank you, President Spyropoulos. Want to thank David St. Pierre, Colonel Reisinger, a great engineering masterpiece, which I, especially enjoy seeing as an engineer. I thank my colleague Senator Durbin and Representative Quigley for working together to get this done. There's one thing that upsets homeowners almost more than anything else is when the rain starts coming down, the worry of the water coming up in their basements. This will help cut down on that worry, especially right here in the center of my district. The other thing is clean water. This will help keep Lake Michigan cleaner. So it's a great thing when people can come together, accomplish something, get something done. We need more of that. Now this is phase 1 here in McCook. Phase 2, last year in the Water Resources Development Act, we got some language in there that's going to help us move that forward more quickly. We still have to get the money, so we're going to keep working on this. We're going to get this done, but it's a great day for all of us here and all the residents of Chicagoland. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is responsible for water resources development in the Chicago metropolitan area, and our partners at the Army Corps have been instrumental in helping us bring TARP to fruition and helping to meet project deadlines. We are thrilled to see Stephen Durrett, a member of the Army Corps Senior Executive Services for the Great Lakes and Ohio Rivers Division based in Cincinnati here today. And I would now like to invite Colonel Aaron Reisinger, Commander of the Corps Chicago office, to provide remarks. Welcome, Colonel Reisinger.
Thank you. Thank you. Senator Durbin, Senator Quigley, Senator Lipinski, thank you. It's really, truly an honor for me to join you on this stage today. I have the honor of speaking on behalf of the entire U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and representing what is 46 years now of the Corps' participation and support to this effort. I represent hundreds of Army Corps of Engineer professionals, both in Chicago and across the nation, who have worked on this project in one capacity or the other. Another interesting fact, I'm the 20th commander now that's participating in this project, though the last commander to make general officer out of the Chicago district was the first commander. So I don't know what that says about this project, but I'm hoping things turn around. This project literally spans my life. In 1972, when the Joint Task Force released the first TARP plan, I was 1 year old. So it's sort of the ebb and flow over time. And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was involved early on in this project. In 1976, the Chicago District completed the first federal interest determination that was recommended to the chief and approved that this project be accomplished under the Corps' flood control program. Congress authorized the Chicago Underflow Plan in '76, which led to the Chicago District conducting the feasibility study that was culminated in 1988 with both the report to Congress and the authorization to move forward for construction on both the Thornton and McCook reservoirs. We can easily sum up the 90s with a lot of design and engineering effort as both the Chicago District and MWRD worked through diverse challenges to bring a project of this scale to fruition. Beginning in the early 2000s, we started to see the physical creation of the project with the coring and the tunnel relocation efforts that culminated in what you see behind us, in front of you today. The McCook Reservoir truly is a nationally significant engineering marvel. In fact, our Deputy of Civil Works was out here, Mr. Dalton, a couple months ago, was standing at the bottom of this and was just marveling at the civil engineering that went into this project and all the work that it took to make it happen. As we understand, there's really nothing like this or the TARP system in the world. The project involved expanding upon state-of-the-art modeling, instrumentation, and engineering in many aspects. I am personally extremely proud of the commitment, perseverance, and support all of those involved represented here today represent to overcome these engineering challenges. Without the backing of our local, regional, state, national leaders, this is nothing more than an idea. But I'd actually like to take the moment to really credit some of the individuals from our team, the Corps of Engineers team, that worked behind the scenes to ensure this partnership remained strong and this project came to fruition. I have many of them here today with us today. I'd just like to call out a few. Dave Sheeman, lead engineer on the project. Vito Cluza, civil engineer. Dave Drubisky, a cost engineer. Bill Rutchford, a geotechnical engineer. Joe Cassane, a geologist. Tim Flaherty, a geologist. Yuki Galiciano, a geotechnical engineer. Mike Padilla, our project manager. Dave Keel, a hydraulic engineer. Jen Miller, environmental engineer. Mike Rohde, real estate. Dick Albert, who's led the team out here for many years, overseeing the daily construction operations, and many, many more. If you would, please join me in a round of applause for this great team. We still have a lot of folks, as I'm sure MWRD does and others, who remember the 90s and the challenges that we worked through from 90 and beyond to bring this project to fruition. And really, the key to this project has been a partnership. We're here to celebrate today the completion of the project. Is really a testament to the personal commitment of people made to those partnerships from our federal, state, local contractors and our regional teams. Really, I want to focus my appreciation to MWRD, Mr. St. Pierre, who's been a great partner for us and me since I've come on board. And you probably know this, but maybe not, but the Corps and MWRD and the predecessor, the Metropolitan Sanitary District, our relationship extends back to the 1800s when we've taken on some really significant projects for the Chicagoland area and the people. I want to thank you all again for letting me be a part of this tremendous opportunity. in this celebration today. What a project. I know the Corps and I personally look forward to the next big idea, something truly befitting of the Chicagoland people. Essayons, building strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. The U.S. EPA has been a valuable partner. Region 5 Acting Regional Administrator Robert Kaplan implements federal environmental programs in the Great Lakes states of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin, as well as 35 federally recognized tribal governments. We greatly appreciate that Robert has been participating in our landmark occasions over the past few years. Welcome again, Robert Kaplan.
Thank you very much. Senator Durbin, Representative Quigley, and Representative Lipinski, this is a great day for us all. This is something that has been a long time coming, but is a huge step forward for water quality in the Great Lakes region, certainly for Lake Michigan and for the Chicago River. In 2007, EPA, in conjunction with the state of Illinois, began working with MWRD on a consent decree. And that consent decree was meant to ensure and accelerate the progress for this entire endeavor. And what you see behind me is part of that. That is a huge step. I remember back in 2007 thinking, if we can just make it this long way to 2017, there will be this huge increase in capacity. And that was always the promise of tomorrow, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And I'm very happy to say, as we sit here today, that tomorrow is today. Tomorrow is here now. I also remember sitting in on arguments for the entry of the consent decree. And back at that time, the question is, are we moving fast enough? And the judge that entered the consent decree had a very good thing to say about it as he did so. And I'm just going to read the one sentence from the opinion that summed it up for me. What Judge Maravich said as he entered it was, in a world of on-demand movies and text messages, it might seem unreasonable for progress for the completion of TARP, but the project is huge, and like Rome, it cannot be built in a day. His words resonate here today. The goal we are working on was far too important to risk taking any shortcuts. So a couple of months ago, I, along with others here, jumped into the Chicago River for the big jump. And just to think about that, 20 years ago, that would have been completely unthinkable. No one would have seriously considered that to be an option. And while we didn't spend too much time frolicking in the river that day, I must say, Mr. St. Pierre is a superb diver. We were warned not to dive, and he did so and set an example for us all. The existence of such an event speaks volumes. We are making great strides. And the McCook Reservoir is another one of those great strides. It happened because of vision, persistence, partnership, and I'll underscore this next thing, funding, to make it all happen. Today, as we celebrate the opening of the reservoir, I can't help but be excited for the possibilities in the future. On to phase 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Illinois EPA Director Alec Messina is dedicated to safeguarding the Chicago area waterways while encouraging job creation and economic growth through such programs as the Clean Water Initiative. Welcome, Alec, and thank you for coming here from Springfield.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's great to be here with you today, and thank you for coming out on this typical Chicago December day, maybe not so typical. I really am grateful to be here today because this event is really a testament to a number of different things. First and foremost, it's a testament to the vision and leadership at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. I mean, in all honesty, the TARP is as we've heard from other speakers, it's unprecedented. And to look behind us today in front of you, I mean, who would have envisioned us being here today? It really is a modern marvel. Secondly, it's a testament to what we can accomplish when we're working together. This is really an unprecedented level of collaboration between federal, state, local government, and officials. We wouldn't be here today if we really all weren't working together, rowing in the same direction. No pun intended. And then finally, the amount of work to get us to this point, the staffs at the Corps and the district, EPA, contractors, vendors, consultants, it really is. This is really your day. This is an amazing success, and for that I thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alec. I would also like to acknowledge Commissioner Randy Connor from the City of Chicago Department of Water. Thank you for your leadership. As well as our federal lobbyist, Mia O'Connell, without whose strong work in Washington, we would not have been able to obtain the funding for this project. So thank you, Mia. I would like to invite Cook County Commissioner for the 16th District, Jeff Tobalski. Every community in Jeff's district will receive benefits from the McCook Reservoir. Jeff is also the mayor of McCook, so it's my great pleasure to invite Mayor and Commissioner Jeff Tobalski. Thank you.
Thank you. Cup's frozen in my hand, so Dunkin' Donuts is going to get some free advertising today. On behalf of the three gentlemen back here, Senator Durbin, Congressman Quigley, and Congressman Lipinski, we thank you for your advocacy. I see my friend Sam Puglia, who was the mayor of Westchester, back in 2009 sitting here. I was knocking on doors at that time, running for the Cook County Commissioner Board seat, and a lady that I had known, her and my son went to St. Joe's together, said, you know, you better go home, Jeff. It's going to rain. They're calling for some bad weather. I went to Palmer's place in LaGrange. It was still about 87 degrees outside, nice. I woke up the next morning and Sam, you were about 10 feet underwater. It's amazing how fast in a short period of time water can hit this area and flood the communities that I represent. Thanks to Madam President, all the commissioners at MWRD, we have been working on that problem daily. We spent at one time weeks and then months getting together on a regular basis with the mayors in my district to address the problems we have concerning water. In the village of McCook, it all pitches this way. So I end up with it at the very end, which obviously concerns me. But again, through the advocacy of the gentleman behind me, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the wonderful people at MWRD, happy to report that the problem is getting better. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mayor. The International Union of Operating Engineers Local 150 represents 23,000 men and women working in a variety of construction and other industries. The workers at McCook have included operating engineers, laborers, iron workers, carpenters, pipe fitters, electricians, and truck drivers. Here today, Kevin Burke, Vice President of the International Union Operating Engineers Local 150, is here to say a few words. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Madam President, directors, commissioners, honored guests. Pleasure to be out here. On behalf of the unions, we just want to thank the Water Reclamation District for years and decades. The work that they've provided for local, the unions, support and fringe benefits that are paid in for local residents. These are the type of jobs we need. I myself worked out here for 5 years. My father worked out here, many of our members, and it's work like this that keeps our friends, our neighbors, and everybody safe. So thank you for your partnership, and it will continue.
Thank you, Kevin. And last but not least, the Sierra Club is a valuable partner and ally when it comes to protecting the source of our drinking water and improving water quality. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Executive Director Jack Darren.
Thank you, Madam President. Congratulations. You know, we meet here today on a day when the mayors from around the world are gathering in Chicago to talk about how important it is that local governments keep up the momentum in the fight against global climate change. And a big part of that is getting ready for the future that scientists tell us is already here. And because of the work of the MWRD and this facility going online, we are going to be more ready for the extreme storms, the heavy downpours that we've already begun to see in our region and unfortunately are going to continue to see. So I want to say thank you and congratulations to Kevin, your members, all the men and women that worked on this project to get this done for all of us. All of us that count on safe water supply and want a better future and to be prepared for it, count on the work that you do. We support the work that you do. Congratulations on a job well done. Thanks.
Thank you, Jack. And without further ado, the time has come to officially recognize this tremendous project. If my fellow commissioners could join me, we are going to unveil a commemorative plaque. And then we'll be cutting the ribbon. And when you're ready, the buses will be returning everyone back to LASMA Visitor Center, where we hope you will stay for some refreshments.